The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Friday, April 4th, 2025, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of April 3rd, 2025 was read and approved on motion the Senate adjourn.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions, messages from the Assembly, messages from the Governor, reports of standing committees, reports of select committees, communications and reports from state officers, motions and resolutions. Senator Gianaris.
Good morning, Madam President. On behalf of Senator Fernandez, on page 15, for the following amendments to Calendar 380, Senate 1806, and ask that said bill retain its place on third reading calendar.
The amendments are received, and the bills will retain their place on the third reading calendar. Senator
There will be
Gianaris.
an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332.
There'll be an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332.
The Senate stands at ease.
The Senate will stand at ease. The Senate will return to order. Senator Gianaris.
Madam President, there's a report of the Rules Committee at the desk. Can we please take that up?
The Secretary will read.
Senator Stuart Cousins from the Committee on Rules reports the following bill. Senate Print 7239 by Senator Krueger, an act making appropriation for the support of government. Bill ordered to read to third reading.
Move to accept the report of the Rules Committee.
All those in favor of accepting the report of the Rules Committee, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The report of the Rules Committee is accepted. Senator
Please
Gianaris.
take up the supplemental calendar.
Secretary will read. There's a substitution at the desk. The Secretary will read.
Senator Krueger moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules Assembly Bill number 7695 and substituted for the identical Senate Bill 7239, third reading calendar 625.
Substitution so ordered. The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 625, Assembly number 7695 by Assemblymember Pretlow, an act making appropriations for the support of government.
Is there a message of necessity and appropriation at the desk?
There is a message of necessity and appropriation at the desk.
Move to accept the message.
All those in favor of accepting the message, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The message is accepted and the bill is before the House. The bill is laid aside. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of the calendar.
On to the controversial calendar, please.
The Secretary will ring the bell. The Secretary will read.
Calendar number 625, Assembly number 7695 by Assemblymember Pretlow, an act making appropriations for the support of government.
Senator O'Mara, why do you rise?
Thank you, Madam President. Would Senator Krueger yield for some questions?
Senator Krueger, do you yield?
Sure.
The Senator yields.
Good morning, Senator. Hope you had a nice weekend. Here we are after a long weekend, after the last budget extender. Where are we in getting a budget done today? Last week, you actually expressed some optimism about this week. Where are we?
It's a darker day for me, Madam President. The world is about to go into a world recession. The country is literally on fire. I spent my weekend working, going to a family bar mitzvah, and an exciting protest. I don't know what Senator O'Mara did. And yet I'm here today to say we need to do another extender. And I'm not sure whether there's any change since last week. I read the governor's comments. She says she's in no rush to get a budget done. It feels like that.
Senator O'Mara,
Madam President, the Senator will continue to yield.
you continue to yield?
I do.
Senator yields.
Senator, in fact, I believe I read over the weekend or at the end of last week that the governor said she'll call us back here every other day or every 3 days to get a budget done. Is that what we're just going to continue doing here and not make progress on the negotiation of a final budget? We've got 9 budget bills to go. Have any one of those 9 been finalized at this point?
Through you, Madam President, no.
Madam President, will the Senator continue to yield?
Do you continue to yield?
Yes.
Senator yields.
What's the total amount of this extender?
This is an increase of, this bill provides $3.8 billion in appropriation authority to meet payroll costs and allow certain payments for the Department of Health, the Department of Labor, and the Department of Veteran Affairs. This is an increase of $1.8 billion over last Thursday's extender, and it only goes through Wednesday.
To you, Madam President. The Senator will continue to yield.
You continue to yield?
Yes.
Senator yields.
So $1.8 billion to get us through the next 2 days. So that's roughly $900 million a day we're spending that we don't have a budget done. And the figures I have is of that $1.8 billion, nearly half of that is Medicaid over 2 days of $860 million. We're just going to continue spending $1 billion a day, and doesn't seem to be any urgency in getting this budget done.
Through you, Madam President, I suspect if we had a complete budget done, or in the situation where we don't, we would be spending approximately the same amount of money each day. So the extender extends the level of funding that were in the previous year for things, but it doesn't add money per se to what we spend. It's simply a continuation of that spending on a daily or weekly basis until we have a full budget.
You, Madam President. The Senator will continue to yield.
Continue to yield?
I do.
Senator yields.
Is there any possibility in this budget that we could spend less than was being spent at this time last year?
Hypothetically, of course. Yes, when you do a budget, you evaluate everything you're spending, and sometimes there are decreases in programs, but usually, especially simply because of inflationary costs, we see an increase in almost every program with every new year.
Thank you, Madam President. The Senator will continue to yield.
You continue to yield?
Yes.
Senator yields.
But Senator, a budget is always a matter of priorities, and we could certainly prioritize something over something new over something old, or more in one area, less in another area. Yeah, we're just continuing along spending $1 billion a day. It's not good governing, and I don't think it's what our constituents want. They want us to be doing our jobs. Doesn't feel like that's been being done over this past 3-day weekend since the last extender we did. Are there any table targets yet?
For you, Madam President, no, they're not.
Is there any scheduled meetings of the
Asking if Senator
Joint
Kruger-
Budget Conference Committee?
Senator O'Malley asking if Senator
Through
Kruger.
you, Madam President. The Senator will yield.
Do you yield?
Of course.
Senator yields.
Are there any scheduled meetings of the Joint Budget Conference Committees?
Not that I know of, but of course, we've all just gotten into town, are starting in session with the extender bill, which I think we have to get done before noon. And then I suspect we're all going into conference perhaps to learn more.
Thank you, Madam President. That's all I have.
No? Are there any other senators wishing to be heard? Hearing and seeing none, debate is closed. The secretary will ring the bell. Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris, Cooper, Orts, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 59.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of the controversial calendar.
Please recognize Senator Walshik for an introduction.
Senator Walsick for an introduction.
Thank you, Madam President. We are joined in the gallery here today by the Lafargeville girls basketball team. These Red Knights brought home the first ever Lafargeville girls Class D championship, bringing it back to the Frontier League. And not only was their victory historic, but so was their teamwork, their camaraderie, their friendship, and the service that they do in our community and their school each and every day. I congratulate them on their championship, ask that you do the same, and extend the courtesies and cordialities as you welcome them to our chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Walczyk. To our members of the girls' basketball team, award winners, please be welcome to the Senate chamber. We're here to acknowledge and celebrate you. Please rise and be recognized. Senator Gianaris.
Is there any further business at the desk?
There is no further business at the desk.
Upon conclusion of session, there will be an immediate meeting of the majority conference in room 332. And with that, I move to adjourn until tomorrow, Tuesday, April 8th at 3 p.m.
There will be an immediate meeting of the majority conference in room 332. On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, April 8th at 3 p.m.